Continue with the Boaz Pirates this morning, or I guess it's afternoon now. So, Coach Luke Pruitt coming over from Pisgah last year, first year at Boaz. Congratulations. Welcome to Marshall County. And, Coach, I believe you're going to introduce the players for us and some opening comments from you.
Yes, thank you for having us today. Thank you all for doing this every year to expose our players. Excuse me. To my right, we have 10 seniors this year, and we brought 5 of them. Each of these guys here are kind of the leaders of their position groups. But to my right is Presley Fant, plays running back and outside linebacker for us. All these guys here are seniors. Next is Braden Bennett, plays inside linebacker for us. Also will roll over on the offensive side and play some tight end and some short yardage stuff. To my left is Demir Martinez. He plays corner for us. He's coming back, was the main starter at corner that's coming back for us. Then we have Jaden Durden, who's the senior on the defensive line for us, also plays some on the offensive side. And the far one's Jason Duke. He is the only returning starter up front on the offensive line. But these guys, I chose these guys because, like I said, they're kind of the leaders of each position group. And not that the other guys are not, but these guys kind of have more experience and been in the fire, per se, some of the other guys. But we're coming off a 9-win season. Can't say enough about what Coach Sullivan done and the staff the previous years. We're having to replace 16 seniors that graduated. 5 of them had the opportunity to go play at the next level. There were 3 guys that had opportunity to made All-State. So we have some guys that we're having to replace. And the first day I got on the job, I had a meeting with these guys and told them we're going to lean heavy on them, and they've done a great job this summer. We had our first day of fall camp yesterday, so we're excited about the season going forward.
Coach, could you talk about what you did this summer, and the improvements maybe you saw this summer in the team?
So I was hired late April. We got to go out 6 days in May, just in shorts. But this summer, I wanted us to be exposed to high-level competition, and we went to the University of Alabama for 7-on-7. We went to Sanford. We went to Jacksonville State. We also went to West Alabama, and then we finished up at UNA. So we were able to play at 5 universities across the state and play high-level competition. And I felt like as the summer went on, we were still installing base concepts when we went to some of these places. But we improved from the University of Alabama to UNA tremendously on both sides of the ball, just understanding our base concepts, even though we were in competition. So that was something that we wanted to do. And, you don't answer all the questions until you get pads on later on in the week. And that's something we feel like we're in a great spot answering the skill position questions, and we want to finish answering those questions later on in the week when we get pads on.
This is for the players. I know Coach Pruitt he comes here just highly respected in the coaching ranks, been very successful where he's been, where he came from. I just want to ask you guys, when a new person comes in, there's new beginnings, and I just want to ask you guys, you've had a chance to be through the summer, and now what is it like so far? I know it's early, but what is it like to play for someone like Coach Pruitt, that the way he coaches, he's come in, and what are your thoughts as players playing for a new coach, and specifically Coach Pruitt?
So I didn't know much about Coach Pruitt until he got here. And but I came to find out he's a great coach and he's an even better man. And he's done a lot for this program already, just being through one summer, and really excited to see how the season goes with him as our new head coach.
Yeah, I would say I'm glad we have a new coach. He's really pushed our team to the limits this summer. I know he has a great record with Pisgah and other teams, but I'm glad we have him as a coach now.
Like the other guy said, when Coach Pruitt came in, he's done a great job just leading us and coaching us to be the best that we can be.
Like the rest of them said, he's been really great. Like, he's really active, a lot more active, and he's just been great in helping us get better.
It was definitely a change from like the pace of Coach Sullivan and how he was, but he's pushed us a lot harder this year, and he made us all better.
Coach, I want to ask you how your team has adjusted to what your philosophy is, the way that you got new staff that's come in. How have your players adjusted to those schemes and the overall mentality of what y'all were trying to do?
So I guess I give a compliment to our assistant coaches, the ones that we had that was already on staff. Pretty much in today's world, a lot of times teams are all doing the same things. So I met with our coordinators and we kind of married our ideas, I guess you could call it there, and the terminology changed for the most part, but they've picked up on it really well. Actually, these guys have done a great job in translating the new calls and stuff to the rest of the team. So they've picked it up really well. Like I said, we had a few days in May. We've seen tremendous growth this summer to where we are now. You know, that's kind of we're still installing because you never know each week what you're going to have to pull out of the bag of tricks or whatever you want to call it, toolbox, whatever it is, the calls that you need for that week. So we're still trying to install as much as possible to be able to have things that they've been exposed to that we can use week in and week out. But they've done a really good job. One in particular, I know terminology defensively has been totally different for these guys, and pretty much 4 of them play a lot of defense. But Jason's done a tremendous job translating the calls on the offensive line and our protections, trying to make sure for the other guys that are new there. But overall, they've done a really good job of it.
Coach, last year, Tyler Pierce, record-setting quarterback, he graduated, he's gone. He probably took 99% of the snaps last year. You played a lot of 7-on-7, 11-on-11s. How do you feel about your quarterback play going into practice?
So Bo Bennett will be our starter. He will be a freshman. He's done really good. He's still a freshman, and he's going to have freshman mistakes through the year, but he's done a really good job with his protections, and that's something, throwing the ball where it needs to go, being on time, that stuff that we can work on, and some of the other stuff will come with him getting varsity experience. But so far, he had a really good summer. He showed growth from May all the way up until now, and that's something that, there's a lot riding on a freshman at quarterback, and we're going to do a good job taking care of him. One thing that's important to us is being able to run the football, and that's something that we've got to be able to do to take some of that pressure off of having a freshman quarterback.
Coach Pruitt, first of all, good to see you again. From one side of the mountain to the other, it feels like. But two-parter for you. First of all, what attracted you to the Boaz job? I know there's some family history here as well. And number 2, off the field, I know it's important for you, having known you for a while, your family. It's important for you to make a family atmosphere, not just in the locker room or in the program as a whole, but on the community. What have you been able to do in such a short time to sort of get your roots going in that regard?
So what attracted me here, I'll be honest with you, was a very tough decision. But what Coach Walker and Mr. Hayes and Dr. Haney, told me and sold me on the Boaz program was something that it was hard to pass up. But me and my wife had to sit down and pray about it for multiple weeks about the decision that was made, and ultimately felt like the Lord was leading me here. And that's something that's very important to us. And you mentioned on it, that's something we've got core values in the program, and we're going to start install them as we get further on into the season. But we've got a leadership council. That's something that's important to me, and the fact that these guys are on that. And, I tell them all the time, it doesn't matter what the coaches do to lead this program. We're here to just steer you in the right direction, but we'll be a lot more successful if the players are the ones that are having the leadership of the program. But that's something that we're in the early stages of getting involved there. So we try to do some things. We were able to do at least one thing this summer, just trying to get outside of football, get to know each other. But that's something that you mentioned that it's important that I want these guys to be great football players, but I want them to be great husbands and great fathers one day as well. And that's something that's important to me. And if the only thing they learn about the game of football for me, then I failed them as their coach. So we're still in the early stages of that, but we're starting to implement that.
Coach, I've been watching Boaz for over 50 years, but this is my 27th year with the radio station NAREB, and they've always had a certain style of football at Boaz. You've been here less than 4 months. Have you had to try to reinvent the wheel, or are you going to go basically on what you've got?
Yes, so Coach Sullivan did a great job, and the staff that we have, there's going to be some continuity with that. But doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to be able to run the football and stop the run to be successful and take care of the football. But yes, you're going to see some of the same concepts that you've seen in the past. We've got to do a good job on defense, be opportunistic, get off the field when we have that opportunity. But it's going to be the same blue-collar approach that they've had from the get-go. And that's something that it's going to stay there. And that's not going to change. And that's something that, you come in, the program wasn't broken. Coach Sullivan left it in great shape. And he helped me tremendously in the transition coming in. Coach was, when I walked on at Jacksonville State, he was a graduate assistant there. So we go way back. So there's going to be a lot of continuity with the program and how the style of play was.
This question for the players. Coach talked about your senior leadership going into your senior year. He's talked about there's going to be young people have to step into important roles for this football team. Is there any of those young guys that's really impressed you this summer that are going to step into those roles, and who are they?
So, of course, our freshman quarterback, he's grown to be a leader of our offense, and he needs to be as the quarterback. And he's really impressed me. He's done a lot of good things this summer. I'm excited to see how he does. And then on the defensive side, with our safeties, we have one returning safety, Noah Ford. He's done good this summer, but Cooper Horton has had to step into a safety role, which he isn't really used to, because last year he was our edge rusher. But he's also really impressed me. He's had a lot of interceptions. He's great zone defensive guy, and he can play good man too. But I'm excited to see how this season goes.
Yeah, I'd say offensively, we have a transfer from Etowah, Dede. He's pretty good. He's actually phenomenal on offense. And then we got Sage. He's a returning starter from last year, which he's still young. And then I also say Cooper too. When we was playing all these 7-on-7 tournaments at like Alabama and stuff, there'd be a couple games where he had like 4 picks. So he's been impressive to me.
I would like to go with Bo Bennett, our quarterback. He's really improved going against him in practice and stuff. I've seen the progression, as well as Mac Thompson. He plays outside linebacker for us. He's good in coverage. He's good in the run. It's just everything you want in a linebacker.
Yes, I'd like to say on offense, Ronnie Sinares, he's gotten really good. I enjoy going up against him because he betters me and I better him. And on offense too, Dawson Roden, he's gotten really solid. He's replaced our recent tackle. And on defense, I like to say Max Rosario because he's my guy and he's been helping me too.
Offensively, it would be Dawson Roden. He's our left tackle. He could have started last year for us. He's really grown into our offense, and he's been a great piece of what we do in the run game. And defensively, it would probably be Peyton Knott. He's a defensive lineman. He's really came to play this year. Last year he didn't get many reps, but he's still young, and I think he's got room to grow.
A question again for you guys that I've asked all the other players as they came through. You're all seniors going into your senior year. Talk about maybe individual goals for you for this senior year, and obviously the team goal.
So a couple goals that I have going into my senior year is to be better than I was last year. Last year was the first year that I got to really start. and I just hope that I can be better than I was last year. And I also want to be the best leader that I can be for our defense. I have to make all the calls for everybody, for our D-line, linebackers, safeties. So I'm just hoping I can be the best leader that I can be. And for the team, we're going to be young, but I'm hoping that we can do just as good as we did last year and hopefully better.
After last year, my goals going to my senior year was to gain weight, be about 220, and then get faster and more explosive, and then always get stronger, and also become a better leader and gain confidence in my game. And then as a team goal, have a winning season and go to the playoff, or farther than we did last year at least.
My personal goals is to be better than I was last year, obviously, but to also be a leader to the young guys, kind of help guide them to be better and just do the things that they need to do. As far as team goals go, just make it to the playoffs.
My personal goals, I do want to be better than I was last year. I had an all right season, and I want to help the younger D-line guys get where they need to be so they can help us because we're really thin right now. And I just want to work on getting it more explosive and keep my pad level. For team goals, I want to get to where we were last year, but I also want to be better than that because I know we can and we have everything we need to.
Some personal goals would be to strive in the weight room and become better, lift more weight, and to lead the younger guys to be better and get them where they need to be so when we leave, or we can keep striving as a program. And some team goals would be just to make it to the playoffs.
Okay, Coach, your turn. Goals for the coaching staff at Boaz this year.
That's something that we had a lot of guys to replace, but, our expectation doesn't change. That's something that you want to host a playoff game, and eventually win the region. That's something that's important for us this coming year. Not only have a winning season, but to try to host that because your chances of advancing past the first round increases if you get that home playoff game. So that's the goals that we still have that's not going to change year in and year out. And that's kind of where everything is. You look at our region's tough, and and that's something that every week you've got to be ready to go, and that's something that have that faceless opponent. We've got to improve week in and week out, like all these guys mentioned. We have some youngsters, and we've got to improve every day to reach those goals.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks for being here. Thanks, guys, for being here. Good luck to the Pirates this year. Appreciate
Thank y'all.
you.
Thank y'all again for doing this every year for high school football. Thank y'all.